welcome back to the Surf Run channel. I am recording this from the comfort of my car on my way into work. Hope the audio is okay on this one. It's Tuesday morning, little late this week getting this video out, or actually simply just recording this portion of it, which is the portion where I review my week's workouts. I discuss next week's workouts or this week's workouts, and any good information that I can glean from my training so far. So this last week I was able to hit my 50-mile goal, starting off with, as usual, not doing anything on Monday, taking the day off on Monday entirely. And on Tuesday, I did do a 10-mile run with the Stay Fit Temecula crew. We did about 4 miles of hills, and I did about 6 miles kind of on my own, mostly flat. So that was a great 10-miler on Tuesday. Felt pretty good. The weather was great. The hills were always, the hills are of course always a challenge, but it's nice to just mix it up every now and then and be able to kind of, you know, slow the pace down, but actually increase the effort and definitely heart rate. So it's actually a pretty good, challenging workout, but I know that there are some significant benefits to it. And it's always great running with that crew and chatting about all things running and all things not running. So Tuesday was a great workout. Got my 10 miles in that day. Wednesday, I normally do a bear down session on Wednesday, a cross training session, which would be all upper body on Wednesday evening. However, I decided, well, I don't know if I decided, I just didn't make it back home from work in time to make it to the class. So instead, I did another 10-mile run. I did a 10-mile tempo run on Wednesday, non-stop. Tried to keep it just slightly above marathon pace, maybe around that 7:30 range, 7 minute 30 second per mile range, and I was able to do that. I did struggle a bit the last mile. For some reason I really hit a wall, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not somebody who really hits walls and then breaks through walls. I feel like when I hit a wall, I've hit that wall, and now it's just a kind of a struggle to finish that training run or even that race. I can't think of many times in which I've hit a wall and broke through that wall. I know that you hear about other runners with those experiences, but honestly, I can't think of any like that. So nevertheless, anyways, Wednesday was a good run. Good first 9 miles anyways. Let's see, so then Thursday I did do doubles. Did I do doubles on Thursday? I did do doubles on Thursday. I did a 4-mile lunch run and then a 6-mile evening run. And both those runs felt harder than they should have been. One of those kinds of workouts where you kind of question, where am I? I should be pretty strong. You know, we're 11 weeks into this, right? I don't think I mentioned this, but yeah, we're 11 weeks into 16 weeks. This is the 12th week. 12 weeks of training, and the run that I had on Thursday did not reflect that. So, you know, some of it, you know, I have to kind of chalk up to just other factors, maybe just tired, just in general tired. Maybe didn't have enough water, so didn't feel so great. And it was pretty warm Thursday too, so especially that lunch run was actually pretty warm. All right, look at this beautiful, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little rainbow up there in the canyon. It's a nice day here today. It's the first, or actually now it's the 2nd day of May. That's gorgeous, right? I don't know if you can see that, but pretty rainbow right through that canyon right there. So yeah. Anyways, all right, so focus, Jason, focus. So that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all 10 miles. So I'm already up to 30 miles by Friday. Friday rolls around. Friday is bear down strength training day, So I did go to the noon class for bear down. I'll throw some video in on that. That was a great workout, as almost all the bear down sessions are. I really do love the classes, and I love the coaching, and I love the other members and the facility, everything about it. And it's just a great way also to start the weekend, you know, finish Friday. So yeah, great session, great workout on Friday, and with the understanding and the awareness that I'm going on a long run on Saturday morning. So I went I totally went lighter on the kettlebells and the dumbbells than I might otherwise go, because I don't want to trash my legs. So yeah, Friday was great. Saturday rolls around. I did pretty well, I feel anyways, with, you know, kind of carbo loading, if you will, on Saturday night with some pizza. And made sure I hydrated throughout the day on Friday and Saturday morning. So I headed out Saturday morning on my long run, my 20-mile long run, feeling pretty good. And the weather was on the warm side for sure, but I think that these long runs in those types of, you know, challenging conditions just make me a better runner. So especially the heat, I feel if I can run in 90-degree heat for 20 miles, then running 26 miles in 60 degree or even 55 degree weather should be significantly easier. Nevertheless, anyway, so Saturday's long run, 20 miles. This was a course that I do in almost every training block. It takes me in one big 20-mile loop. It takes me over 3,000 feet of elevation gain. All of that elevation gain is pretty much between mile 6 and mile 14. And then at mile 14, I drop back down, right? So what goes up must come down. So then I drop back down after 14. So 14 through 16, or a little bit more actually, is just all straight downhill. So yeah, it's a great challenging run. So yes, it was warm, there was elevation, and I felt pretty good actually all the way through maybe that 16-mile mark. Pretty much by the time I came off the downhill part and started running on the flat last few miles, that's where I started to eventually start feeling the legs a little tired, feeling, you know, maybe a little under fueled. I had 3 gels with me. I even ate half of a honey stinger, or the waffles. That was great. Those are so delicious. I love those things. So, you know, I struggled those last few miles. My pace went above the 8 minute per mile range. I was keeping it in that like 7:45, 7:55 range for almost the entire time, for 3/4 of my training run. And then that last quarter, those last 5 miles, I kind of dropped off a bit. So I finished in that, I don't know what it was, 8:03, 8:02, 8:03 average range. Got to be okay with that. I kind of wish I dropped it below 7, but at the same time, it still was way better of a 20-mile run than the previous 2 20-mile runs where I suffered. So this is my 4th 20-mile run, so I'm in a good position. I normally just do 5 20-mile runs, so to have 4 of them already under my belt and still have 5 weeks left, I feel like I'm in a good position in terms of the psychology of being able to run long distances and to be able to run 20 miles, especially in difficult conditions and elevation. So there's something good to take away there. And I do need to definitely dial in though that nutrition or whatever it is that is giving me these issues on those last 2, 3, 4 miles. I can't have that in the marathon. So especially the last 2, 3, 4 miles of the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon, that is where you hit a hill. You go up the 163 hill. Highway 163 is at mile 22 through 24. So got to be ready for that. But once you get actually to mile 24, you're up on the top of the hill there. You get to ring this bell, The last 2 miles then are slightly downhill. The adrenaline will kick in. I'm sure I'll be fine there. But nevertheless, yeah, so that was this week. I will consider this another successful week. This week, since it's already Tuesday, I plan on doing much the same kind of routine. I'm a creature of habit, I think. So yeah, I'll be doing I plan on doing some doubles today. It's Tuesday. I've got my gear with me to do 5 miles for lunch and then 5 miles of hills tonight with the Stay Fit Temecula crew, and then do 10-mile tempo run tomorrow, 10-mile easy run on Thursday, 20-mile long run on Saturday. That's the plan. That's the goal. Get back, continue with that 50-mile per week pattern, or keep that pattern going, and get another long run in, because next week, week 13, I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm probably not going to be able to get 50 miles in. I mean, we'll see, but probably won't. I don't need to really stress myself out over trying to get 50 miles and a 20-mile run in over a vacation. So I'll just think of that as being a down week. So yeah, that is this week's worth of running. Feeling pretty good. I have mentioned that I wanted to go into the course itself, the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon course, which is on Sunday, June 4th. And I wanted to break it down and talk about it in a way in which the way I've treated this course in the past. This is the same course configuration that this race has had for maybe three or four years in a row. The San Diego Marathon occasionally does kind of change things up a little bit every like 3 or 4 years, but the course map now looks exactly the way it was last year and the year before. So I do break the race down into segments, miles 0 through 8. Mile 8 is where the marathoners and half marathoners split. So you go from running with a bunch of people to running with a handful of people. And then so then from 8 to 16 is another segment of mine. I choose 16 because mile 16 is where you make this sharp right turn off of the San Diego River bike trail. And it feels like when you make that turn and you're off that bike trail and onto the road, that you're kind of heading back to the finish. Like psychologically, it's like, okay, I'm heading back to the finish now. And you've only got 10 miles to go. So that's another segment of mine where I kind of just I evaluate where I'm at. I come out of whatever kind of running trance I'm in and just do an assessment of where I'm at and take some fuel too. And then 16 through 21 is the next segment. It's all flat right there. You're going along Friars Road. If it's hot out, there's some shade from these giant eucalyptus tree. The road's really wide on Friars Road. It's not a lot of spectators, and you kind of are on your own right there. It is an excellent opportunity to what I call sleep run, where just put the head down, and if you're feeling it, also put the pedal down a little bit and maybe pick up the pace, because I mean, I guess it's not typically good advice to try and bank time. I know through my own experience that trying to bank time doesn't work. But if you're feeling good from 16 to 21, then take advantage of that, because it's flat, and what's coming up is going to take that pace and flip it upside down, because the next segment then would be from 21 through 24, where you're crossing back over the San Diego River, and you've hit a low point on the course, but you're about to go to the high point of the course. You're going up the 163, which is basically a 2-mile pretty steep hill that's also got a bit of a slant, like a canter to it, I guess is what it's called, or a camber, a camber. And it's a bit challenging right there, but I love it. It's my favorite part of the race, actually. And again, there's not much in the way of spectators or support up that hill. There's a handful of runners too, so there's not much going on except just you and your thoughts on how, as you look up this hill, as it just kind of snakes all the way up, because it's like an S thing. It's like an S shape, like you can't really see the very top. It just kind of goes and goes and goes. It's it's fun. I really love it, and it truly is challenging, and it's a great spot too to kind of maybe pick off a few runners along the way. And then, so anyways, that's the segment. The next segment then is when you do reach mile 24 at the peak through the finish, right? That's where you actually rejoin the half marathoners. So now you've gone from, again, super quiet, many miles of really quiet running, to all of a sudden you're with thousands of other runners. They do keep, we're separated, you're separated by cones, I think, where the half marathoners stay on their side, the marathoners stay on our side, but you're still running with a lot more people at that point. But which is great because, man, the energy is wild right there. And those last couple miles, the energy really helps out. So anyways, I'm going to go through all that in future shows, so don't need to get into details right now. But all right, I'm going to wrap this up. I am stuck in traffic on my way into work. The weather's great. This week, actually, the weather's supposed to be really cool. It's supposed to rain again on Thursday. It was raining a little bit earlier today, so we're out of those a couple weeks of pretty warm temperatures, and we're back into definitely below average temperatures right now, but we're just into some cool running, so I'll take it, because eventually we're not going to have that anymore. It gets hot in the summer around here. So nevertheless, all right, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope you're getting something out of these. I know I am. If you are, please don't forget to hit the like button and also share it. And you can always go to www.surf.run for more information, for more links. You can even get some merch there. Speaking of, I'm not speaking of merch, but I just remembered that I broke my camera yesterday while out on a hike with my dogs. So that is kind of a bummer. Broke the back screen. So it's definitely no longer waterproof. So got to get myself a new either GoPro or some other camera, get this thing replaced, because it's not going to make it in the rain or in the ocean. It's kind of a bummer. Just the way it just fell out of my pocket, just fell and just hit the corner and cracked the screen. So kind of a bummer. But yes, I'm hoping it's still working. It's the first time I've used it since I broke it. So, all right, cool. Surf Run out. See you next week.